Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay connected with all Keek on the Mic news. So, Bears fans, the Chicago Bears were back again with another training camp practice, and the good news is that they were officially back in pads. So, obviously, the intensity was back up between the offense and the defense side of the football. And breaking news out of Chicago, and this practice was the most intense by far of the entirety of the Chicago Bears training camp, because we had our very first training camp fight. Yes, it was between safety Eddie Jackson and wide receiver Chase Claypool. Apparently, Chase Claypool made a play, and as he was going out of bounds, Eddie Jackson came in and made a hit late. Chase Claypool did not appreciate that late hit. He proceeds to get up, grab Eddie Jackson by the helmet, flinging Eddie Jackson's helmet off and pushing him to the ground. Eddie Jackson then gets up from the ground. They jawed out for a little bit, and GM Ryan Poles, yes, general manager Ryan Poles, had to run over there and get in between them to break the guys apart, because obviously they were still jawing back and forth. After practice, one of the leaders, and Justin Fields, was talking to other Chicago Bears team leaders about the incident. But overall, we don't want to condone violence. We don't want our guys fighting with each other, but that's what happens when grown men, right, are competing at a high level. We said in past podcasts before, right here on Keek on the Mic, that the offense has been battling, the defense has been battling, the offense has been making plays, the defense has been making plays. So obviously you're going to see some training camp fights, right? They're playing at a high level, they're competing against each other at a high level, and they want to win the reps. Obviously you don't want Eddie Jackson hitting people late when they're running out of bounds. So I understand why Chase Claypool would have been mad in this situation. But overall, training camp fights happen because of the intensity of the situation, and they are playing football, and they're all competing at a high level. But overall, Bears fans, I am not concerned about this fight, this training camp fight that happened between Chase Claypool and Eddie Jackson. I understand why Chase Claypool was mad, right? You don't like to be hit late, especially when you're running out of bounds. But at the same time, we have to understand that maybe there's a possibility that Eddie Jackson hits Chase Claypool late, and let's say Claypool ends up getting injured. This is a contract year for Chase Claypool, and Chase Claypool has always played with a lot of emotion, but when you add in the fact that this is a contract year, he doesn't want to get hit late and maybe accidentally get hurt because Eddie Jackson decided to make a late hit out of bounds. So I understand the frustration, but once again, we understand that Chase Claypool is playing with a lot of emotion. He's playing his ass off for the Chicago Bears. He has been dominant for the Chicago Bears for the last couple of practices. So I absolutely love to see the intensity from Chase Claypool, and I absolutely love to see the intensity from Eddie Jackson too. They care about this football team. They care about winning. And once again, iron sharpens iron. These guys are competing at a high level. So though I don't condone violence, though I don't condone fighting with your teammates, this is only going to continue to make the Chicago Bears football team a whole lot better. So yes, we did have a training camp fight today. It made the practice really, really interesting and, really super intense, but that's what you expect when these guys are playing at such a high level of competition. In other training camp news, Chicago Bears, besides the fight, Nate Davis was in attendance, but he was not in pads, and Teven Jenkins was back in attendance, and he was actually wearing pads, so it was really good to see Teven Jenkins back in action. Another thing that really impressed me today in today's Chicago Bears training camp practice is that Justin Fields continues to get the ball out quick, hitting his targets, intermediate targets really fast. He's progressing really well. So overall, Justin Fields continues to progress as a passer. But overall, once again, I want to keep this very short and sweet because it was another really good day of work for the Chicago Bears. I am really impressed once again with the level of competition. Yes, it did lead into our very first training camp fight of the season, but overall, I absolutely love to see it because I love to see this level of competition. These guys are competitors. They want to win every single rep, and that's how you get better as a football team. So overall, it is what it is. The Chicago Bears got better again today with a very, very good training camp practice. But if you guys want to continue getting training camp Chicago Bears updates right here on the channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, back for an all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.